Welcome to this explainer. We're jumping straight into a massive breakthrough in the AI space today, Hermes Agent by NousResearch. Look, if you use AI every day, you absolutely know that frustrating feeling of being boxed in by a chat window that literally forgets who you are the second you close it. Well, today, we're unpacking a system that finally escapes the terminal to live, work, and most importantly, learn right alongside you. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the stateless agent problem. Then enter Hermes Agent. From there, we'll explore its closed learning loop, look at some real-world workflows and automations, cover the installation and setup, and finally, do a quick reality check on its limitations and risks. All right, Section 1, the stateless agent problem, amnesia and infrastructure. I want you to think about your workflow for a second. What's the biggest problem a stateless agent creates for you every single day? It's the pain of starting from absolute zero every single session, right? You constantly have to re-explain your naming conventions, copy and paste the same API quirks, and outline your folder structures over and over again. The agent never remembers that it wrote a script last week to process your data, and it certainly won't reuse it autonomously. Every session is a blank slate, and honestly, it's just exhausting. This right here perfectly illustrates the massive contrast between traditional amnesic AI and the approach we're looking at today. On the left, you've got your standard model. It forgets contacts daily, it's totally stuck on your local laptop, and it forces you to start from zero. But on the right, Hermes Agent offers persistent memory, a cross-platform gateway so you aren't tied to your machine, and autonomous skill creation where it actually learns from the tasks you give it. Moving right along to Section 2, enter Hermes Agent, escaping the laptop. So the second massive headache with standard AI is infrastructure coupling. Most tools basically assume you are sitting at your computer. Hermes breaks his coupling entirely. Because it can run on a $5 VPS, a GPU cluster, or even serverless setups like Modal and Daytona, which by the way cost almost nothing when idle, you don't have to be at your desk. You can literally text it a command on Telegram, Discord, or WhatsApp from your phone while you're grabbing a coffee, and it just executes the work remotely. It leaves wherever you put it. Which brings us to Section 3, the closed learning loop, Honcho and agent skills. Under the hood, Hermes uses a memory system called Honcho, built by Plastic Labs. And what's really fascinating here is that Honcho uses a dialectic model to track users, projects, and ideas as entities that evolve over time. When you ask it to recall something from 3 weeks ago, it doesn't just take a wild guess. It uses a lightning-fast SQLite full-text search combined with LLM summarization. It's actively reasoning in the background, which means it builds a continuously deepening model of you. So it's not just a raw log dump, it is genuine, usable context. But how does it translate that memory into action? That is where agent skills come in. Instead of reasoning from scratch every single time you give it a complex, multi-step task, Hermes autonomously saves its successful routines. It packages them into a lightweight, version-controlled folder with instructions and resources. The next time you ask for a similar task, it just retrieves that shared skill. This kind of procedural memory is exactly what makes it a true self-improving system. Now, you might be wondering, how does it manage all these skills without totally overloading its context window? Well, it relies on a brilliant standard originally developed by Anthropic called progressive disclosure. At startup, during the discovery phase, the agent only loads the name and a short description of a skill. That's a tiny context footprint. Only when a task actually matches during activation does it bother reading the full instructions. And then, during execution, it follows the procedure. This is how Hermes keeps a massive library of capabilities on hand without slowing down or just burning through your tokens. All right, Section 4, workflows and automations, real-world application. Just picture using this exact natural language prompt. You type this into Telegram. Every night at 2 a.m., SSH into my server, tar and gzip the data, and send me a Telegram message with a file size. Hermes translates that right into its built-in cron scheduler. It handles the SSH backend, runs the backup while you're fast asleep, and uses sub-agent delegation to manage the distinct steps. Then you wake up to a ping on your phone confirming the job is done. That is the actual power of a persistent multi-platform agent. Let's get into Section 5, installation and setup, getting started fast. Okay, so getting this running is remarkably simple. There's a one-line installer script that handles all the annoying dependencies: Python, Node.js, FMFmpeg across Linux, Mac, and WSL. And what's really impressive is the native Windows installer. It actually bundles a portable Git bash without needing any admin rights, so it's totally isolated from your system. Oh, and for the mobile power users out there, there's even a fully tested, documented path for running it natively right on your Android phone using Termux. And when it comes to the brain of the operation, Hermes gives you total freedom. Zero vendor lock-in here. Because it's entirely model agnostic, you just type Hermes model to switch your endpoints on the fly. You can plug in OpenRouter, OpenAI, or your own local models. And if you hate managing API keys, Newest Portal offers over 300 models, plus web search and image generation, all routed through one single subscription. The choice is yours. Finally, Section 6, Limitations and Risks, the reality check. Now, while these capabilities are vast, we have to look at the architectural realities. Self-improvement is amazing, but if an autonomously generated skill encodes a hallucinated or just plain wrong assumption, it can propagate silently into future tasks. Also, the multi-platform gateway is super convenient, but it is a single point of failure. If that process dies, all your integrations drop. On top of that, memory and skill stores currently grow without automatic pruning, which means unbounded database growth over time. And lastly, that brilliant dialectic memory relies heavily on Honcho, which is a third-party dependency. It's just vital to design your workflows knowing these limits. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. We are clearly moving past the era of amnesiac chat windows. With open standards, persistent memory, and autonomous skill building, the underlying infrastructure for a truly personalized AI companion is finally here. So looking at your own daily workflow, ask yourself, will your next agent actually grow with you, or is it going to start from zero every single day? Thanks for joining me, and keep exploring.